It's horrifying. You know, I wonder sometimes how the hell I cope with it. Trying to go about a normal day, and then the phone goes, and I don't know where the hell I'm going next.
There's always a sense of sorrow and anger. It's never just another body to us.
I just saw this dead animal. I looked around the garden.
Yes.
There was no blood.
Yeah.
There was no sign of a head or a tail.
Is this consistent with the others?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely consistent.
And the tail wound as well.
Yeah.
In fact, look, there's a little stump.
Dear God. And that's our guy.
Do you want to see where it was found, yeah?
Yeah, please. The kill site will be here, Lou. He's been here without a single doubt. He's been here. You wouldn't get the cut further if he hadn't. He's placed that cut there.
You're listening to BBC Radio London's Breakfast Show. I'm Vanessa Feltz, thrilled to have your company today. Another London story. This is an ongoing saga. You will have read about it, seen it. I only hope you haven't experienced it. It is the story of the Croydon cat killer.
SNARL, which stands for South Norwood Animal Rescue and Liberty, has been looking into these deaths. Good morning.
Are you all done up down there? He nearly went on national TV with his flowers undone. So we always check, no.
No, I actually did. Yeah.
I've been rescuing cats in the area for donkey's years, and we ran out of family and friends to rehome cats to. So the idea was we'd set up a Facebook page, we'd give ourselves a name, and try and rehome that way. We've got 18 cats at Tony's, and we've got 14 at mine.
She'd be at work most days, so for me it was just sort of looking after the animals and pottering about. But when obviously we started investigating this, that very quickly became pretty much a full-time job. Oh. See that? Come on over there. No one needs to get burned.
That's not the fridge where you keep the bodies, is it?
Yes and no.
Which ones have you had in there?
There are some bodies in there. There's also, I think there's a head or two in there. Let's take these in through there. This one, she's quite cheeky. She ended up in a flat on her own with no food or water for a week before a friend of the woman got keys and then contacted me and I came and rescued her. It was one of those moments when I was driving home and I suddenly thought to myself, man, it's been like months since I came home with a live cat because I'd done so much dead collection and not so much rescue. It's like one of those pivotal moments, like, what the fuck's my life become, you know? I'm collecting more dead cats than live cats.
How has having all these cats changed your life?
I kind of enjoy it, you know. Working for the man when I was working at Westminster Council, you know, it's like, do this, do that, you know. Actually, in this, I do what the fuck I want, when I want, you know. Or, well, actually, in reality, I am... the cat killer seems to be dictating a large part of my life at the moment. The first time I came across this is when I saw on the Facebook that, you know, there'd been some local mutilations. That was probably the 22nd of September, 2015. When you see the carcass of a cat and, you know, you've got very clean lines where the head's been removed, common sense tells you this has not been done by any kind of animal. You know, someone has cut this head off, and the only animal on this planet I know that can operate a knife is a human animal.
We prepared a leaflet to put through doors, asking people to call us if this had ever happened to them. We came home that day with 15 cases. In October, we made a report to the RSPCA. But by that stage, we were pretty overwhelmed with what we discovered.
Since the RSPCA got involved in November 2016, we've been made aware of over 250 cases that's been brought to our attention, mostly from the south, but also other parts of the country as well. It's sort of kind of renamed Croydon cat killer, or M25 cat killer, and then UK cat killer. And that's because there have been a number of animals that have been suggested as been involved from all over the country. From our point of view, it's a bit of a mystery. Why anybody would cut a head off a cat, I have no idea.
Well, in terms of the kind of person that might do this, I think it would be safe to say that it's unlikely to be somebody with a fulfilling social life, a happy relationship. It would suggest to me that it's somebody with deep-seated psychological disturbance and needs, and they're meeting that in a very extreme and very unusual way. People don't usually just act in extreme ways for no reason. And while those reasons might be unfathomable to most of us, there will be something driving that behaviour. Might be because of perhaps hostility or anger towards something that the cats stand for and represent. Maybe somebody who feels they haven't been cared for, sees animals and pets being pampered, and might develop a hostility towards them as a result.
We had this laid and one of the cats decided to walk along it. So we just had it laid.
Blooming cats, I don't know. You got two dogs?
Yeah, these
Hello.
little fella
Hey, you're friendly though, aren't you? You're lovely, aren't
They
you?
both came from rescues. Though.
Yeah. Oh, what have you got in here? Oh,
This is, it's my husband's.
Hello. Hello. I see you quite animal-centred here with dogs, you've got fish,
yeah.
you've got parrot, you've got chickens.
Yeah, you name it, and we've got it, yeah.
Oh, bless you.
And what was her name?
Millie.
Millie.
Millie. And she's got a sister somewhere who's black and white, her name's Molly.
Millie and Molly.
Yeah.
Does she know?
I don't know, she doesn't seem to be too perturbed
This is
by
Millie's
it.
mum. Hello, sweetie. Hello. Oh, you don't know about your daughter, eh? Poor little thing.
I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
I'm still in shock.
Just in shock.
I feel better knowing that you guys are here, and that something is going to be done about it, in the fact that you're not all just sitting there saying, "Oh, it's another dead cat." And this has always been home and it's safe, but now it's not safe. My husband just said he's just ordered CCTV cameras.
She was a scratch like mad. If you tried to put her in a cage to take her to the vet.
Yeah, she didn't like that.
So the way he's done it, he's been clever, because otherwise he would have been scratched to pieces.
Yeah, he's had a bit more of a play with this. Oh, poor thing.
I mean, I only looked at her very quickly, and I just saw no head, no tail. She got all four legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Actually, no, she's got a leg missing. So you don't want to look. Sorry, he's taken a leg, front leg.
That wouldn't be foxes that have got to her afterwards,
It's
would it?
possible, but it looks too sort of clean.
Yeah.
So I think he's done it with a knife. Poor thing.
I'd do it to him with a knife. I would.
That's a fur.
Yeah.
Definitely a fur over there.
Because of this indentation here, I think this is probably the kill site. He's cut her up, obviously kept the head, the tail, and the leg. He's probably walked along this path, placed it on the patio over there, and then buggered off. Sometimes, particularly where legs have been taken, he will return a leg. He might just leave it at the front, for example. So there is a danger of that, so please look out. If you find any body parts, let us know. Yeah. And also, we've now got 3 occurrences where he's come back and got a second cat from the same household. What's very consistent amongst most of the bodies that we find is they're quite public or they're quite personal. What motivates someone to do that, God only knows, but obviously my conclusion, and I think many people would agree, is it's an attack against humans as much as the animals. And it's very dangerous that, you know, he's going to step up at some point.
One of the things I investigated previously with the group of people that I investigate the stuff with, and I'll go back to when this is all over, was Luca Magnotta. In fact, we started investigating him 2 years before he killed somebody.
So you were investigating him for...
Yeah, he was torturing and killing animals and filming himself. He was setting them to the videos to music and filming himself doing so. Members of the team had a look at his photos, and I can't say how they did it, but they narrowed it down to 3 streets in a city in Canada. People in America and Canada who work with us contacted the authorities, but unfortunately they looked at it and did nothing with it, and he went on to kill somebody. We have to amplify the opportunities for him to be caught, because that is what's going to catch him, is communities aware of what's going on in their own streets. So when he makes a mistake, somebody will be there to catch it.
The first description's been issued of the Croydon cat killer.
Well, the description is of a white man in his 40s with short brown hair, dressed in dark clothing, possibly with acne scarring to his face.
In July 2017, there were 3 cases that were in a very, very small area of Caterham. The neighbours saw somebody acting suspiciously. They called the police and they also chased him. Unfortunately, they lost him. However, they did get a reasonable description. The next day, it appears he came back, which would indicate that he either dropped something perhaps, or he'd left something behind. There was something that was drawing him back to the area.
I've known cases of serial killers where they do return to the body. Returning to it is a way of reliving the satisfaction that came from committing the act in the first place. People may take what's known as a trophy from an offence, and that's usually because they will rehearse over and over again the detail of what happened in order to continue getting gratification afterwards.
Yeah, I'm on the road. I'm actually on my way to Dartford. It's the one we were at the other day where the cat was found in the corner of the next door neighbour's garden. The one with the chickens. Today, the old lady next door, in the corner where the cat was found, has found 2 thin 4-inch bones.
We definitely didn't miss that, absolutely. The woman herself said there's absolutely no way in hell we missed that.
You missed that, no. So when he returns paws, he will strip them from there to there.
Well, normally we'd get the whole leg,
Yep.
and then the paw, just this bit where the pads are about an inch, would be intact, and the rest of it stripped completely to bone. Completely
so
clean.
all the flesh, there's no skin, there's no fur, there's no flesh, and it's a really clean look. You can see it's not natural. It's not like a fox has been chewing on it. Yeah.
This is what was found in the garden. They don't actually, ribs are normally curved, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think it's just too much of a coincidence that they were found in the exact position where the body was originally.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. These aren't ribs.
What do they look like to you, Rudiger?
They're not chicken bones.
I think it's going to take a vet to tell that.
First we're going to just look for any external injury relating to if this cat's been involved in a road traffic accident, because usually they have scuffed nails.
Why do they have scuffed nails?
Because usually the actual physical impact of the car drags the cat across the concrete, but this cat hasn't had any scuffing of the nails, so it's unlikely that the initial injury was sustained by a car. You can see here quite clearly that, just from your perspective, there's a very clean, neat cut. This injury here is not suggestive of predation. This is suggestive of a knife wound.
Whoever's doing this kills the animal, takes it off-site.
In my opinion, that's what's happening, yes. And then returns the animal at a later date. And that's borne out by something else which has been presented to me. Looking at it externally, it's my opinion this is the radius and ulna of a cat. And it does fit with Millie's sort of size. This has been returned at a later date by the individual that's also sustained these injuries to this carcass. Millie, unfortunately, is another casualty of the individual or individuals who are undertaking this practice.
What are the consistencies?
All the animals have died of blunt force trauma. Most of the animals have been decapitated and most have had tail amputations. However, the nature of how those have been carried out has fluctuated wildly. So with the tail amputation, some of it has been done very skillfully and it's actually gone through the actual coccyx space, as opposed to this one, which has been crushed and cut sort of quite crudely. I do not believe you can attribute every single cat that's been presented to me and the other vet to one person.
People often ask me, is it more than one person? And my first instinct is to say, well, isn't that far more worrying? If we've got just one person, that's bad enough. We've got 2, 3, 4 people doing it. That's got to be more horrifying to people.
It's comforting to think that this is one person, that people are generally good, and that the person who's doing it is an outlier to society. In reality, most violence that happens is more likely to be sporadic or impulsive. It doesn't tell a very exciting story about bad people that the public can distance themselves from.
Just going by the information that was released in the papers and on social media, I was thinking that it was one person. But if you start thinking that there's a certain person who's responsible for these crimes, then you might start looking for those patterns in the evidence that you're gathering.
We may be missing other parts of this puzzle, and I think the fact that it's gone on for so long really suggests that we are missing something.
We've had to change mindsets of policemen who go, oh, it's an animal, we don't do that. And they're quite right. They don't generally investigate this kind of crime.
The biggest achievement we've done is that we've started to join up those dots and provided the evidence to the police that this is actually happening. She put a sign, Animal Rescue, come to investigate. We tend to do most of the collections.
Yeah, okay. You guys are obviously busy, so...
And the RSPCA can't always get out.
We're on scene, and the cat's being removed from where it was found. The Norwood Rescue guys, they've come along and they've already sort of evidenced the cat. From what I'm told, there's potentially bodily fluid on the cat. I haven't seen it yet, but this is what they're telling me. So I just wondered how you want us to proceed. I don't know if I have a brown bag. because to be honest, plastic bag isn't the best thing because of the
fluids.
Exactly, it's gonna, and not just that, the blood and the fluid is gonna start getting mixed.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for they're gonna call me back to see what they want, and I'll be led by them to be honest. So.
We're used to police procedure. We can hang around. It's fine. You don't need to.
Your weekends, really.
This is all we do. Doing this, it has us taken over our lives, really.
Yeah.
But I'm determined we're going to catch him.
Yeah.
We knew the boundaries of what the police couldn't do, but it was quite a weird thing to be called in by the serious crime squad to say, "Come and talk to us."
Time to call this.
I'm going to check. I'm going to check your speedo, your average speed on this one.
Don't you
Excuse me?
fucking start.
I always drive within the speed limit, officer.
Stopped once.
Imagine for me as a Scouser voluntarily going into a police station and meeting with a detective sergeant. What astounded me is that from the get-go there was a level of respect.
Right, come on, let me show you this.
Go on,
Right.
Right.
Right, you've got the gloves on.
Give me a second. Oh, I hate you, bedwetter.
You should be used to this by now.
Tell me that's not him. Tell me that's not him. It's him.
It isn't, but someone's copying very well, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, poor little girl. I'm so sorry you smell. Just want to fucking cuddle cats, not look after them, not wretched their bloody poor bodies. Oh, I can't bear it. I can't bear it. It's the choice. I just can't fucking bear it. Yeah, the cat that was murdered.
They said, look, we're probably not going to get another cat, not for some time.
They can't bear it,
take the scratch box and what food they had. There's a couple of
It's
boxes of
heartbreaking. It's
Bickets
absolutely fucking heartbreaking.
and the toy, which, you know, she loved, apparently. You know. You know, cats will nobble the food up in them.
Yeah. But it's heartbreaking. You just think, you know, they don't actually want the stuff in the house because they can't bear it. That's what he is. The case has had a very direct impact on our lives and our relationship. You know, we struggle to just do what other people take for granted. I knew it was going to be difficult, but actually it's been a lot more difficult in ways that we couldn't have anticipated. But we're not going to stop just because it's hard, or because it's hideous, or because it's got us on the verge of breaking up on occasion, or that's not what this is about.
This is so real now, isn't it? It's sad. My heart is broke. The only place she was safe was here, and look what's happened. Oh, there's a bit of her hair. We'll leave that on it. That's mad. Bless her. I did go into the vets once, and that was hard. But they had the body, but not the head. Beth rang up and said, please don't cremate her yet till we get the head back. Because Tony said the head will come back, and it did. I would never get a cat again. And he's destroyed us, really. But we will catch him. Someone will catch him. Won't they?
I hope so.
Yeah, they will.
Northamptonshire Police has arrested a 31-year-old man in connection with a number of cat mutilations in October and November last year. The man has been released under investigation.
He's the first person that's been arrested for, and I think has mutilated cats, killed and mutilated cats. Whether there is a link to our person or other persons, we're still waiting.
What's interesting, though, is if Takahe hadn't been ongoing, would they have even been picked up?
Yeah, I think without the publicity and the investigation that's gone on, that wouldn't have followed.
Yeah.
Probably, though, you could also argue without the publicity and the investigation has gone, it may not have happened if it's a copycat. So that's the other way of looking at it. So, with one hand...
Are you both of this sort of thought process that you've got a person in the Croydon area and you've got colluders or copycats in the outlying areas?
It's possible, but if we have a group colluding, then we have a group colluding that has managed to kill animals and mutilate them in very similar ways.
I feel like, we differ. We've all got different opinions, obviously.
But that's why we make a good team.
And I don't think it can be one person running around the country killing all these animals. This must be some form of collusion, copycat or a group.
It is almost a poison chalice to investigate because there's no obvious thing to hang our hat on. The problem we had in the start was that because it wasn't considered the most urgent things, we were losing bodies.
Do this kind of, didn't do this sort of investigation.
And without you guys, we would have lost countless bodies. The investigation has gone from what has been for 2.5 years, me calling on other people when I needed them, has become, I've got a full-time team of 4. We're going to just kind of go both barrels into it and see if we can turn something up.
The best case scenario, what do you think you could hope in terms of sentencing?
In all honesty, not enough. Probably 4 or 5 years.
He's got to go to court. He's got to face trial. For all the families that need that justice, that's got to happen. They're people's loved ones. Every single one of them is awful. And we're both of a background that if something's wrong and it's in your ability to fix it, that you fix it.
I don't think either of us could just stop and walk away. And, I guess that will be the case until he's caught, preferably until I catch him. And I'll let him know what I think about what he's doing to my life and Boudica's.
We've invested 2.5 years of our life in catching this guy, and we will catch him.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock.
Motherfucker.